You're tired, not from your job or from life, but because you care deeply about things that don't care about you. The truth is, the moment you stop trying to control everything to feel peaceful, peace quietly finds you in your calm. If you've ever stayed awake worrying about what others think, gone over a conversation again and again, or felt broken by opinions that didn't even matter, this message is for you. Let me ask you something. What if the reason you're feeling low is because you're giving your care to the wrong places? Today, we're uncovering a truth so uncomfortable, most people spend a lifetime running from it. There's a quiet storm you've come to accept, always thinking too much, giving too much, explaining too much. But what if I told you, if you let go, there's a kind of freedom waiting for you that you've never felt before? Stick with me. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be this. Real peace starts the moment you no longer chase approval from others. And at the very end, there's a powerful bonus truth waiting just for you. One, why you react to everything. Think of your mind like a mirror. When it's clean, you see everything clearly. But every time you let a comment, a look, or someone's words leave a mark, the mirror gets blurry. And suddenly, you're not seeing life as it really is, but as it hurts you. In Buddhist wisdom, there's a reminder: you won't be punished for your anger. You'll be punished by it. That chaos inside you, that boiling emotion. It's not life hurting you. It's your deep attachment to how you wished life would be. And the harder you try to hold on to that illusion, the more painful it becomes. So ask yourself this: why does every small thing shake you? Why does a random comment from someone you don't even care about echo louder than your own thoughts? The truth is, it's not because the world is cruel. It's because deep inside, you keep believing it should be kinder, gentler, more fair. But that belief, that hope, it's a trap. Every time someone challenges your view, questions your choices, misunderstands your heart, your mind starts a war, not with them, but with yourself. Because what you're really trying to protect is your ego's need to be right, accepted, safe. But here's the shift. What if you didn't react? What if you paused, stood between trigger and response, and just watched? That single second, that breath, that still moment, that's where peace is born. Mindfulness doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're powerful. It's choosing to say, I see the fire, but I don't need to walk into it. In Buddhist practice, this pause is sacred. The mirror doesn't fight the smudge, it waits until it's clear again. So ask yourself, what belief am I holding so tightly right now? Is it needing to be liked? Fear of being disrespected? Feeling like you must always explain yourself? When you trace your reactions to their roots, you'll find the storm was never outside. It was always inside. So next time you're triggered, don't rush to react. Sit with the feeling. Let it rise, let it move, but don't grab it. Don't become it. Because the less you need everyone to do, the more you'll finally understand yourself. Let go, not because you don't feel, but because you want to feel better. Stop hurting for people who wouldn't help you if you were bleeding. Give your nervous system a break from carrying the weight of every thoughtless comment. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every moment needs your attention. The less you react, the more you reflect. And the less you need to prove something to the world, the more free you'll be to build peace inside. In the end, it's not about who said what. It's about whether your mirror stayed clear. You don't need to fix the world. Just master that one small moment between trigger and reaction. That's where your freedom lives. To the invisible traps that control you. You think you're free, but take a closer look. Your mind might still be getting pulled by strings you can't even see. Strings made of fear, needing approval, and wanting control, and they move you quietly. So quietly, you forget what peace even feels like. Buddhism doesn't teach you to run away from the world. It teaches you to stop believing the lies you've made about it. The Buddha once said, "It's not the chains on your feet that keep you stuck. It's the ones tied around your mind." These traps in your head don't scream, they whisper. They hide behind things like being responsible, being perfect, or staying driven. But deep down, they're pushed by fear, fear of not being enough. You wake up and check your phone, not because you care, but because you don't want to miss something. You say yes to plans you don't want because you're scared of letting someone down. You post, perform, pretend, not for joy, but to feel like you matter. But how many choices do you really make? And how many are just reactions to invisible strings? Here's a hard truth. Your suffering usually doesn't come from what happens. It comes from the meaning you attach to what happens. You weren't hurt because they ignored you. You were hurt because you expected them to notice you. You weren't stressed because of all the work. You were stressed because you tied your worth to doing it perfectly. That's the trap, and it keeps you stuck in the same cycle until you're too tired to even care. But what if you gave those traps names? What if you looked at a thought and said, "Oh, that's just my approval trap," or "That's my overthinking again"? Even just naming them starts to break their grip. Because once you see the string, you can choose to cut it. Minimalism isn't just having fewer things. It's about caring less about stuff that doesn't matter. Emotional minimalism means telling yourself, "I don't have to deal with this thought." That worry about what someone thinks, that urge to explain yourself just to be understood, that never-ending "what if?" Those are puppet strings. And the moment you stop moving to their pull, you finally start living. Ask yourself, what's one mental trap silently draining your peace right now? Why are you still holding on to it? Is it fear of rejection? Need to stay in control? A craving for certainty? When you stop trying to manage everything, clarity starts flowing in. You start responding, not reacting. You watch, not absorb. Remember, you weren't born to please everyone. You weren't born to be perfect. You were born to wake up, to free yourself from silent expectations that steal your joy. You don't have to fix the whole world to feel free. You just have to let go of the strings. And here's the twist. When you stop needing to control everything, you finally gain control over yourself. That's when happiness stops being a reward and becomes a place you can rest in. Cut the strings. Let your mind be still. You are not a puppet. You are the master who simply forgot. 3. When you stop caring, this happens. You hold on so tight, gripping approval, expectations, and outcomes like your happiness depends on controlling it all. But have you ever noticed? A clenched fist can't receive anything, not peace, not love, not freedom. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, the moment you let go, you create space for freedom. And that freedom? It's the real path to happiness. It sounds strange, doesn't it? How could not caring bring more peace? But maybe peace isn't something you have to chase. Maybe it's something that shows up when you stop forcing things to fit. Think about it. Every time you try to fix someone, save every situation, or control how others see you, you end up drained. Not because you're weak, but because you're carrying things that were never yours to hold. You weren't made to carry the whole world. Some things are meant to pass through your life, not live in your nervous system forever. Want to feel peace? Then stop holding on to what you can't control. Let go of the idea that everyone must like you, that your plans must go perfectly, that people must understand your heart. Peace doesn't come from fixing everyone. It comes from releasing the need to. Picture your mind like a closed fist. Now gently open it. That's what letting go feels like. Not giving up, but making room for space, breath, and clarity. When you stop caring about the noise, you can finally hear your soul again. And here's what it quietly tells you. You were never meant to live in tension. Try this daily, just small changes. Don't grab your phone the second you wake up. Don't reply to that message that only brings drama. Don't explain yourself to someone who refuses to understand. Just let go. Choose peace first. The world won't fall apart, but your inner chaos will finally begin to settle. So ask yourself right now, what's one thing you're holding onto too tightly? Is it a certain result? The person? A story you tell yourself about who you're supposed to be? Now imagine, what if just for today you let it go? What if your worth didn't depend on effort? What if your value wasn't tied to how hard you try? Buddhism teaches, pain doesn't come from losing something. It comes from being too attached to keeping it. So the more you hold on, the more you hurt. But even the smallest release, and suddenly you can breathe. You start to trust life. And that trust brings you back to you. The less you care about what drains you, the more strength you'll have for what lifts you up. You weren't made to react to every trigger, to respond to every voice, to fix every broken thing. Sometimes healing doesn't mean fixing, it means freeing. The moment you let go, peace walks in. Stop gripping. Start living. Happiness isn't something you run after, it's something you allow. For the mindset shift that changes everything. You are not your thoughts, you're the awareness behind them. But most of us don't live that way. We live like we are the storm, spinning, crashing, overwhelmed. But the truth? You're the sky, always still, always present. Buddhism teaches a powerful truth. Don't believe everything you think. Thoughts are just visitors. But when you forget that, you become trapped inside your own mind. You react. You overthink. You get stuck in fear, shame, or worry. You treat every thought like it's real. And just like that, peace slips away. Now imagine this. A dark cloud appears in the sky. It looks heavy, scary. But the sky doesn't panic. It doesn't resist. It simply allows the cloud to pass. That's the shift that changes everything. You don't have to stop every storm. You just have to stop believing you are the storm. You stop saying, I am anxious, and instead say, anxiety is here. You stop thinking, I'm not good enough, and realize, that's just a thought. It's not the truth. This shift is the heart of mindfulness. Meditation isn't about pushing thoughts away. It's about seeing them clearly and letting them go, without letting them move in and take over. Every time your mind creates stories like, they don't respect me, I'm going to fail, I'll never make it. Your job is simple. Don't pick them up. Just notice. Name them. And release. Say to yourself, that's just my mind doing what it does. Overthinking loses power when you stop giving it your attention. Most of what you fear won't even happen. Most of what you replay in your head is just noise. So why carry every single thought like it's your responsibility to solve? What if your thoughts had no power unless you chose to believe them? Would you still carry them? Here's the truth. Thoughts will come, emotions will rise. But they are not you. You are the observer, the quiet space behind it all. And the more you return to that space, the less chaos sticks to you. That's where peace begins, not when life is perfect, but when you are present. So next time you feel overwhelmed, pause, breathe. Watch your thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to judge them. Just let them move. With practice, you'll see the sky never fights the storm. It just allows it to pass. Want clarity? Create space. Want peace? Stop trying to fix every thought and just let it float. That's detachment. Not coldness, but wisdom. Caring only for what truly matters. And over time, this becomes your strength. You stop drowning in the waves because you remember you were never the ocean. You were always the sky. You don't need to silence the storm. You just need to remember you are not the storm. You are the sky that watches it pass. 5. Do less but better. You're not worn out because you've done too much. You're tired because most of what you're doing doesn't actually matter. Your energy is being scattered, stretched thin across endless lists, draining talks, and tasks that don't feed your soul. Buddhism doesn't praise being busy. It honors presence. Like the Buddha said, better than 1,000 empty words is one word that brings peace. The same goes for how we live. One focused act done with heart is more powerful than 1,000 rushed ones. Picture your mind like a bow. Every task, every thought, every responsibility pulls the string tighter. But if you're firing arrows in all directions, none will hit the mark. Real clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less and doing it with care. When you stop trying to do everything at once, you finally start living. Because distraction doesn't just steal your time, it steals your meaning. You can't fully show up in one moment when your mind is racing through 5 others. And if your focus is scattered, your peace will be too. So here's your call to clarity. What are your 3 essentials? What are the 3 things that truly matter today? Emotionally, spiritually, practically? Not 10, not 20, just 3. Drop the rest. Because not everything deserves your energy. Not every task is important. Some things are just noise, pretending to matter. And every time you say yes to them, you say no to your peace. You might think success is about doing more. But real mastery? It's about doing less with more awareness. It's not about dominating the day. It's about showing up fully for what really matters in it. Imagine waking up tomorrow with one simple shift. Only give time to what feeds your peace, your growth, or your soul. Everything else? Let it go. That email? It can wait. That meeting? Skip it. That person who drains your spirit? Step away. Doing less isn't laziness, it's wisdom. It's the discipline to choose where your life force goes. And when you do, something powerful happens. The fog in your mind begins to lift. Your thoughts slow down. Your purpose becomes clearer. You stop running in circles and start walking a real path. Ask yourself right now, what's one task I can remove or simplify today to feel more alive? What if real success wasn't about doing more, but about feeling whole while doing less? You weren't made to chase everything. You were made to live with purpose, like a single arrow aimed with care. Powerful, peaceful. Do less, but do it better. Because a focused life isn't a smaller one. It's a deeper one. 6. Let go of the inner drama. There's a storm inside your mind, and most days you think the only way out is to fight it. You analyze, replay, overthink, try to fix everything and everyone. But what if the real answer isn't doing more, it's stepping back? Peace doesn't come from outside. The Buddha taught, don't go searching for it out there, peace comes from within. Yet here we are, fighting every wave, instead of watching it rise and fall. The drama you feel? It's not always from life. It's from the story you wrap around life. Most of the pain isn't from what is. It's from what you think about what is. Picture this. Someone sends you a short message. Right away, your mind says, they must be angry with me. Your chest tightens, your mood shifts. But was there really a problem? Or did your mind just create a whole movie with you as the villain, the victim, or the fixer? Our thoughts are master storytellers. And if we're not careful, we believe every wild plot they create. But there's another way, a clear and simple one, taught in Buddhism. Become the silent watcher. Let the thoughts come and go like waves at the beach. But don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just observe. You don't have to respond to every thought. You don't have to fix every emotion. Instead, try this, stillness in the middle of the storm. Ask yourself, is this real, or is it just a story I'm feeding? That one question creates space. Space between you and the chaos. And in that space, peace begins. You stop fueling the fire. You stop turning discomfort into disaster. And when you stop giving your thoughts all your attention, they lose their power over you. Next time something upsets you, don't react. Don't spiral. Just pause and watch what your mind wants to do. You'll see it jump to blame, to panic, to predict. Let it. Just watch. You are not the storm. You're the space the storm moves through. And the more you practice this, the more you'll realize the drama wasn't about life. It was about how tightly you held onto how life should be. Peace doesn't come from fixing everything. It comes when you no longer need everything to be perfect. It shows up when you stop believing every thought. When you stop turning discomfort into identity. When you stop arguing in your head about things that never even happen. What if, today, you let go of just one mental movie? The one that's the loudest, the one making the most noise. Let it play, but don't take part. Don't explain. Just let it fade. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is not react. The storm inside will pass. But only if you stop standing in the rain. 7. Stay open. Pain comes, and your first instinct is to shut down. To pull in, protect yourself, guard your heart. But here's the twist. Healing doesn't come from closing off. It comes when you stay open. Just like a flower doesn't bloom by hiding from the rain. Your heart grows by moving through it. In Buddhism, the truth is clear. You only lose what you cling to. And clinging often looks like shutting down, holding back, or pretending you're okay when you're not. But pain isn't the real enemy. Resistance is. Think back. The last time you were hurt, whether inside or out, did you close up? Did you shut out the world to protect yourself? That's a natural reaction, but it's also where suffering begins. Not in the pain, but in the closing. What if real strength isn't wearing armor, but staying emotionally open even when it stings. This doesn't mean being weak or letting others walk all over you. It means softening in the very places where life made you tense. When you feel your chest tighten, pause. Don't run. Don't shut it down. Just ask, where am I closing right now? Is it fear? Anger? Avoidance? What am I trying to protect? Now breathe. Breathe into that place. Let it unfold. It's not weakness to feel deeply, it's wisdom. It's not silly to trust again, it's freeing. Staying open doesn't mean letting pain in. It means not letting it trap you. We think closing up will protect us, but it only cages us. Traps us in stories, in guesses, in old habits. True safety doesn't come from control, it comes from presence. And presence needs openness. Keeping your heart open doesn't invite more pain. It creates space, so pain can move through you, not into you. You stop holding every wound. You stop turning discomfort into who you are. You stop freezing, and you start flowing. This practice is small, but it changes everything. When you feel insulted, soften. When someone disappoints you, stay open. When life lets you down, breathe. That's your power, not in changing what happens, but in not shutting down because of it. That's true emotional strength. Feel what you feel, but don't become it. Don't collapse under it. Because every time you choose to stay open, even just a little, you're teaching your nervous system, I am safe enough to stay soft. That's not weakness, that's inner strength. Not strength against the world, but strength against your own fear. So ask yourself right now, where am I closed? What part of me is locked up too tightly? And what would happen if, just for a moment, I let it open? The heart that stays open can't be broken. It only grows bigger. 8. Cut the rope of expectations. You wake up hoping for kindness, a message, a sign, a little attention, but it doesn't show up. And just like that, your mood changes. Not because the world is mean, but because you were quietly holding on to something. An invisible hope, a hidden string. Expectations are like unseen strings we tie to people, situations, and even to ourselves. We think those strings bring us close, but most of the time, they end up pulling on our peace. Buddhism reminds us, attachment is the root of suffering. And expectations? They're just a more polished form of attachment, built on how we believe the world should act to keep us happy. The real hurt isn't in what happened. It's in the story, the one where your friend should have remembered, the one where your partner should have reacted differently, the one where life should have rewarded you by now. But life isn't a fixed script, it flows. And the more we try to rewrite that flow, the more pain we feel, especially when scenes don't match our plan. So think about it. Who are you secretly expecting something from right now? A word? A change? An apology? What feeling is living inside you just because they didn't show up the way you hoped? We attach our peace to outcomes. But peace doesn't live in results. It's not hiding in people doing what we want. It lives in your ability to release those hopes. Picture this. You're on a cliff, rope in hand. The other end? A heavy rock marked, how life should be. That rope is digging into your hand, draining your strength. And you keep thinking, if I just hold on tighter, maybe it'll hurt less. But freedom isn't in gripping harder, it's in letting go. What if, just today, you dropped the rope? What if you let people be who they are, not who you wish they were? What if you stopped needing your job to prove your worth? Your partner to complete you? Or your past to somehow rewrite itself? Letting go of expectations doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting what is, instead of clinging to what should be. That's not weakness, that's power. That's true freedom. Start small. When you feel tight, annoyed, or let down, pause. Ask yourself, what rope am I holding right now? Can I drop it? Just breathe. Let it go, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. Every moment you let go of the false control, you move closer to real peace. Here's something many never say out loud. Peace doesn't come when everything is perfect. It comes when you stop needing it to be. Say this with me. This moment is enough. I am enough. They are enough, just as they are. The rope you let go of today might be the one that's been quietly choking your peace for years. 9. Practice non-attachment, not indifference. You can love with your whole heart and still be able to let go. You can deeply care without clinging too tight. Non-attachment often gets mistaken for being distant or cold, but it's not about shutting down your heart. It's about seeing things clearly. It's the difference between gently holding someone's hand and squeezing so tightly that neither of you can breathe. Picture this. You're holding water in your palm. If you cup your hand gently, the water stays. But if you try to grab it tightly, it slips right through your fingers. That's what non-attachment looks like. Buddhism teaches, when you understand everything, you can forgive everything. And in that forgiveness, you let go not because you don't value something, but because you finally realize it was never truly yours to hold forever. Think about it. What if the pain in your chest isn't from love, but from attachment pretending to be love? We often confuse presence with possession, caring with controlling. But real connection isn't about something lasting forever. It's about being present now. Can you sit with someone you love and not demand they stay with you always? That's where non-attachment begins. Not by running away from life, but by fully showing up without needing it to last forever. There's quiet strength in saying, I love this moment, even if it never comes again. That's what emotional freedom looks like. But most of us fear that letting go means losing everything. We think if I don't hold on, I'll lose it all. But the truth is, clinging doesn't protect, it suffocates. Non-attachment says, I can be fully present and still be okay if it ends. That's not weakness, that's true strength. The kind that doesn't break when things change. Try this. Look at your relationships, your dreams, your identity. What are you holding on to that's weighing your spirit down? A title? A person? A version of yourself that no longer exists? Can you love it, respect it, and still allow it to float away when it's time? That's spiritual growth. It's not pulling away from life. It's loving without chains. Non-attachment isn't being indifferent. It's deep care without emotional slavery. It means showing up with love without losing yourself. It's listening, not fixing. Loving, not owning. Being with someone without being afraid they might leave. It's knowing everything in life is temporary, and instead of that scaring you, it frees you. Each time you let go of needing something to last, you open yourself to fully live, unfiltered, unforced, real. When you stop holding on too tight, your heart finally has room to breathe, and in that space, joy begins to grow. Not because you have it all, but because you've stopped needing to. So ask yourself today, what am I clinging to out of fear? Instead of holding on in love? What if letting go was the most loving thing you could do? Non-attachment isn't letting go of love. It's letting go of the fear that you'll lose it. 10. Stop performing for the world. You've been handed a script, a role to play. And every single day, you perform it, hoping for someone to clap? But what if, just for a moment, you stopped acting? What if you no longer needed to be someone for others? The truth is, these roles we play are just masks. And the more we act for the world, the more we forget who we really are. You are not just the actor, you are the writer of your own story, and today you can write something new. Imagine walking through your day without the heavy burden of trying to be what others expect. No more shoulds. I should be more successful. I should be a better friend. I should be perfect. This endless pressure to meet outside expectations, it leaves you tired and broken into pieces. People's applause fades quickly, but when you live for your truth, you create something that lasts. A life that is whole, real, and truly yours. Think about how you move through each day. How much of what you do is just trying to impress? Who are you hoping will approve of you today? Maybe a parent, a boss, or even total strangers online? What if you let go of that need to perform? What if instead of changing yourself to fit someone else's image, you gave yourself permission to simply be? What would happen if you took off the mask and let the world meet the real you? Buddhism teaches that the less you chase approval, the closer you come to your true self. When you stop pretending, you don't need to hide behind fake perfection. You can show up fully just as you are, without fear. That's where true freedom begins. When you stop acting for the world's applause, you make space for the most important act of all, the one where you're simply yourself. This doesn't mean dropping responsibility or giving up on growth. It means letting go of measuring your worth by someone else's rulebook. The less you care what others think, the more you get back your peace and your power. You begin to live with intention, not just reaction, choosing what serves your soul, not what pleases the crowd. So ask yourself, who am I trying to impress today? I didn't need to. What if instead of focusing on how people see you, you focused on how you see yourself? That answer might just set you free. When you live for truth, not applause, you stop being a puppet, and you become the author of your life, choosing your words, your steps, your moments, with purpose, with honesty, with you. The less you act for the world, the more you become the person you were always meant to be. 11. Reclaim your attention. In this loud, distracted world, where your focus gets pulled 1,000 ways, taking back your attention is one of the most powerful things you can do. Think of your attention as a light. Wherever it shines, that's what grows. If you focus on stress, fear, or what people want from you, that becomes your reality. But if you turn that focus inward, toward peace, toward self-awareness, that's what expands. Your mind creates your world. What you think, you become. So what are you feeding your mind today? Is it peace or poison? The world keeps getting louder, buzzing with alerts, opinions, non-stop noise. But inside you, there's a quiet place, a calm, clear space waiting for you to return. The real skill is learning to find your way back there, again and again, moment by moment, without letting the outside chaos pull you away. Focus is a superpower, and when you learn to direct it, you begin shaping your reality, not just surviving in it. You get to choose where your attention goes, and that choice shapes your life. Start here, a mental reset. Unfollow, unplug, detach from the things draining your energy, not just on your screen, but in your mind. Clear the clutter of thoughts, voices, demands that don't support your peace. All that information, judgment, and noise. It clouds your inner voice. It makes you forget what you really believe. But when you stop stuffing your brain with the world's noise, you finally make room to hear yourself. And here's the truth. Reclaiming your focus isn't a one-time thing. It's a practice. Like building a muscle, it gets stronger each time you train it. Every moment is a new chance to come back to now. To notice when your mind's wandered and bring it gently back. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. Soon you'll notice you're not ruled by thoughts anymore. You rule them. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? Is it lifting me up? Is it helping me grow? Is it making me happy? Or is it filling me with fear, anger, and pressure? In a world trying to pull you in every direction, the power to choose your focus is a skill that changes everything. When you take back your attention, you take back your power. You become the one in charge of your thoughts, your choices, your peace. You know who you are and what you truly want. The noise around you will fade, but the truth inside will always stay. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like it and share it with someone who might really need it today. Tell us in the comments, which message spoke to your soul the most today? And don't forget to subscribe to Story Tales for more powerful, peaceful, and soul-healing teachings inspired by ancient wisdom.